All right, so we have 4 different Excel files that we're going to look at here. First up, we have company stats, contract details, people stats, and then position summary. Now, we're not going to use all of these off the bat, but we are going to bring in the data so that if we ever needed to iterate upon the application, we have the data to do so. So let's look at company stats first. All right, so first up is going to be the company. So we have the company ID, you have the company name, which is Nexion Holdings, and then there's no parent company. So this table, we're probably not going to need it too much simply because we already know the overarching company. This level of detail is really not going to do too much for us, right? Other than just aggregating as a whole how many employees we have by role. But even then, so it's not going to be too helpful. All right, so next up we have branch. So this one's actually going to be helpful because we have LA, Miami, Austin, Savannah, and Fargo. And we have the branch ID, so that's going to be unique to the locations. We know they're all in the USA, and we have the state as well associated to them. So what we can do here is we can put them on a map. We can show bubbles. We have the branch identifier so that we can split them out and associate people to those branches as well by role if necessary too. And this is going to be a good table to support us with our analysis. So next up we have the roles. So the roles are going to be the different types of roles that are within each branch. So we have all these different departments and then the role names associated with them. Some of them are the exact same, some of them aren't. And these will help us with determining the exact genetic makeup that we have within a branch. All right, so that's it for company stats. So these are really good tables that are going to support us. So I'll close this one out and we'll go on to the next one. All right, so next up we have is contract details. So this is going to show us a contract that it currently is, the company that's associated to, so we know it's already tied to Nexion Holdings. We have the branch name. We have the contract type associated to the branch. We have the contract long name description. That's also helpful as well. We have a description of the contract in detail. We have a start date and end date associated to each contract, and that's also helpful. And then we have a total contract value and then an activity status based upon the start date and end date. Now we know since the data was pulled at an exact time and it's already past September 28th based upon the day I'm recording this, it's actually no longer active. So we'll probably have to update that and delete this column as a whole. All right, next up we have sales items. So we have the list of sales items by ID. We have the contract ID, we have the bill date, we have the revenue, and item category. Now we're probably not going to be using this one because we're not looking at revenue yet, but it's going to be a good table to have in the future. All right, so here's the largest table that we're going to have. We have employees. So you have a total of 18,000 employees in this company alone. You have the employee ID, which is distinct. We have a full name. You have the email associated to them. You have the company, which is the same one. We have the branch. We have the roles. You have the titles associated to them as well. Are they full-time or not? And then we have salary. We have FLSA, start date, and end date, which is going to be helpful, right, to determine attrition. Attrition reason is going to be helpful as well. We have the gender, so those are dates that we're looking for as well. And then we have personal data as well over here that we may need later down the road, but it's always good to have. We have future hires, so this is going to be people that are going to be hired in the future based upon their start date, and they're all have an offer status of accepted already. So once again, we have the same starting data, and the main thing to identify here is going to be the future start date. So this is all good stuff. We have losses projected. So the same thing based upon the current personnel, but this is going to be a split table for the losses for the projected date that they have in particular. But in total, we have over 1,000 losses identified here. And we have their start date, end date, attrition reason, all that good stuff. All right, so these are really important tables that we have, but we'll close this out. So next up, we're going to look at position summary. So this is going to be how many positions are actually authorized within that organization. So we have the branches, the ID for the branch, we have the location name of the branch, we have the roles, we have the role names associated to them, and then how many are authorized. Now we have two columns here for filled and vacant, and there's no data points here. We probably don't even need these columns because we can populate that in a custom table. But for now, they're there, they're blank, so no harm there. What we know, and the key thing really here is going to be how many are authorized. And just off the bat, we know we have 2,248 software engineers in Los Angeles. That's a pretty big number. That's the largest number we're looking at. And that might be our largest branch, just by briefly looking at this. All right, so it looks like we have all the data that we really need. So the next step we're going to take now is going into Power BI and loading all this in.